Hello, I'm Peter French, author of the book Herding Cats. This series of video presentations take the knowledge points from this book and present them in a short video. We hope this will inspire you to learn more, either from our book or other business development resources. This first video is entitled The Leader. eMyth delivers a unique understanding of how business works. This system of delivery is what they define as a fundamental requirement to be mature and capable. Used as a template, it could define your journey to overcome business challenges, life frustrations, or any other reason why you are pursuing deeper understanding of how to optimize a business. A system of delivery, or SOD, can be just what you want it to be. It can be copy and paste from a business development body of knowledge, build your own, or in our instance, using the eMyth SOD which we like. Often, the dynamics of a SOD are expressed in some kind of list. Marketing, sales, services, operations, human resources, and money. When you think about a list that could define your business dynamics, very often in different stages of evolution, I'm sure the SOD you develop will be closely related to this one. The upper half describes the act of being it, which defines what must be in place to form a solid foundation for a building of a successful enterprise. Branding is who we are and communicates the essence of our product and enterprise promises. Finance is a survival necessity which, not having more than we need finance, but prudently looking after what we have. And lastly, managing, the art of quantifying a process of delivery and orchestrating that process to deliver on the vision of the entrepreneur and therefore the enterprise. Managers are responsible for the mantra quality, quantity, and repeatability. The lower half describes the doing it, the actual work of creation and delivery. In engagement, the 3 P's, people, process, and product, use your defined processes or systems, their people skills, your training, and ethos to deliver, based on your essence, the fully clothed product to your customers, fulfilling the promises made in the brand and delivering a key component in client transaction satisfaction. While sales is the art of converting market suspects into engagement opportunities and finally into profitable transactions that can be banked. Lastly, marketing is the act of taking the brand promise and exposing that, using the correct words, the correct place in the market, and an emotional attraction to self-select the perfect unknown suspect, presenting our unique value to excite new and returning customers to our honeypot. It is very relevant in our picture of the SOD that the 2 halves are joined together by the dynamic of leadership. Have you ever thought through this process of creating a SOD, the DNA of your enterprise? Many say, I need more money, and work either on finance or sales. Maybe say things like, we need more sales, change the team, get a new star salesperson, etc. Concentrating work where the most chaos can be found. Are you one consumed by putting out fires? There's a chillingly real reason why this sod is centered on leadership, with branding first and with marketing last. Do you wonder why? We'd love to tell you. The circle of learning is a great visual icon helping us to define how anyone, that is you and your people, go through the process of change. The top half is where the coach operates. Together with your motivation, we concentrate on inspiring you to make relevant change by exposing you to new ideas. The bottom half belongs to you. You need to decide how these new ideas relate to your life and business, and then implement them for change. Later, we will work specifically on this crucial component of change. One of the areas of change comes about in that top half, when a leader moves through the stages of inspiration and education. This could result in a high belief in self based on a consciousness that is fully formed. You now can use the same circle of learning template to create and manage change within your team, resulting in a high belief in their own capabilities, enabling them to participate in the informed conscience of the leader. This stylized icon forms, in our thinking, the dynamics of change. Often, it is called the steps in learning. Nothing happens until you are inspired to make a change, either to build a new reality or take the tribal knowledge in your team, operating throughout your enterprise, and have the courage to change that to better fit your vision. The word education doesn't sit well with us, and we much prefer to think of this as exposure to new ideas. With a strong dollop of energy to excite your team in an inspired way to start the process of change. Someone has to have this vision of the future and have the courage to initiate change. The hero in our story of change could very well be our book, a repository of our intellectual property and a body of knowledge, which, along with many free and paid for resources on the internet, could help you in your journey. So, where do you begin? In our experience, these resources can be as confusing as not having any exposure to new thinking. That is probably why the act of application becomes such a crucial step. You could do this on your own and apply the ideas you have been exposed to in your enterprise. There are normally a lot of reasons why this becomes, sometimes, a frustrating exercise. You second guess yourself. You believe you don't have the time, the knowledge, or the skill. You start with a bang, but realities of life take over, and soon the motivation turns to a whimper. You get a lot of pushback from those who work with you. You could call in consultants. Often they can be identified with the words world's best practice, which they, of course, represent. This is bringing in somebody else's ideas of what is necessary in your business. This holds the biggest risk for successful outcomes that fit and are accepted by all the stakeholders. Often they are expensive to obtain and maintain and require significant change in your environment to fully assimilate them. Or you could work with a mentor or coach, someone who has the care to understand your need and ignite your inspiration, helping with relevant and fitting change, who together with you having the competencies to correctly deliver what a challenging attitude that can create the future state. Here we often talk of building a cathedral or a mud hut. Application is all about you influencing the outcome of business development, defining what is right for your enterprise and how that can be delivered. A cathedral might be best practices, but can cost a lot of money to acquire. It can demand even more to maintain, with huge organizational change creating additional personal cost to leaders and staff. While a mud hut can be built with materials often to hand, is sufficient to keep off the rain, will do the job until you can get back and innovate that process into something optimal. So, where are you on the growth life cycle of a typical business? Most entrepreneurs engage with change after that initial flush of growth, when they realize they need to build the capacity to multiply their own time by adding employees. Another area of complexity is when the decision is made to stimulate growth. Either the entrepreneur is going okay, but the entrepreneur leader believes it is not fulfilling its promise and wants greater growth, or after that initial growth spurt, the enterprise must transition from a small mom and pop business into a growing team. Even in a mature enterprise, there is a continual need to grow and find through innovation the new markets, the product adaptation, and continual striving for the perfect team to build customer satisfaction. Thank you for your attention, and we hope that we have exposed some valuable new business development ideas. Are you inspired to take the next step? If you are so inclined, we'd love you to start that journey by starting the conversation with us using the link to our website.